Silver is having a blinder of a year this year. It is one of the best performing assets in 2024. Deciding to buy silver bullion to hold in your investment portfolio is probably one of the best strategic decisions you can make for your investments and financial situation.
I mean, the low case for silver, which I've shown on a couple of videos, is basically from 2023 onward. We're in a structural deficit that will last probably for a decade or more due to industrial demand alone. So if you go with some silverware, which isn't a big part of the market, jewelry, which is fairly substantial, and investment demand, those demands can only be met by the above ground stockpile. And you go out about 5 years and the deficit's projected to be like 450 million ounces on an annual basis. Well, if we look at the above ground stockpile, which a lot of it's in strong hands, and that's 2 billion ounces, you're looking at 4 years. And in theory, you've eaten up all the above ground silver. Now, that'll never happen. But the idea being that as the industrial man continues to move forward and increase, I think that the investment demand will also increase. And that's really not accounted for in this low case silver demand going forward. So I think if any fund manager, any money manager, any pension fund guy, any sophisticated investor, anybody that knows the meaning of why you have to have precious metals in a portfolio to balance it the best for best performance, any certified financial planner that actually does critical thinking on their own, any of those people that would see this logic would almost be required to move into the precious metals, particularly silver. But that's not the case because it's overlooked, generally speaking, by the mainstream, which is 98.2%. I mean, I'll have to go one step further, Dave. I'll give it back to you. But if you look at what the financial wherewithal of the gold market is, you're looking at maybe 1.5% of the global market. That's nothing. But silver's 0.02%. I mean, it's a rounding error. But that's good and bad. It's such a small market that any new awareness into it can really move the market. And I think we started that not by North America, not by Europe, but by China. It seems the Chinese retail investor is really starting to eye the silver market. And we've got this great arbitrage going on between this Shanghai Futures Exchange and Shanghai Gold Exchange and what the London market's quoting for prices of silver and gold.
It's the silver price moving this, right? U.S. equities bubbling sideways or down or even going up, but silver is drastically outperforming it. So you want to hold silver here. This severe underperformance by silver during the entire 1980s, 90s, all the way to 2000 puts a bottom. And look, silver broke out on the monthly chart. Could make a case in 2004 maybe, but then a more important breakout in 2005. So silver price was already much higher than it was at the lows, of 2000, but it was still not a full-fledged bull era. A bull era. I'm not saying like a bull run, a bull era in precious metals or in silver. You need to outperform SPX because I'll always come back to you. Silver could go up to $2,000, but if it's not outperforming SPX, what's the use? Like, what I know stackers, they're happy their silver price going up, but if you're not outperforming SPX, what's the use? So you got to be outperforming SPX, and the silver miners, they track this, gold miners. So a lot of good things happen when SPX is able, when silver is able to outperform SPX. And I'll remove just this thing here. Here is where we are today. The severe drop, that momentum has vanished. We've been going sideways. And this line here is going to be less and less steep as time moves on, this breakout line, right?
And that ratio is basically at about one-tenth of what it was in the 70s, and about one-fifth of what it was in the in the 2008 2009 era. So there's a significant break on that. There's a lot of potential move to the upside.
Yeah, wherever this arrow don't get influenced, because I could draw a big one here, but the bigger an arrow is drawn, the least probable that scenario is. Because there's going to be a lot of hurdles, stuff like that. So what I could tell you is once you've closed above this line here on the monthly chart, You'll be above the Ichimoku cloud. You'll be above this high volume node. You'll be above inclining 12-month and 3-year moving averages. Show me a bullish pattern on the monthly chart, which is below a 12-month moving average or below a 3-year moving average. There aren't any. And if there's one, you shouldn't trust it, because you need that objective, unbiased, mathematical 3-year moving average climbing upwards. That's when, look at that, it's bouncing perfectly on the 3-year moving average during the whole run. So whatever happens here, silver, $32, $35, no matter what the price of silver is, when we cross this black line is, it's going to go up much higher once we're above it, and faster and in a safer manner. So nothing, I know people are feeling FOMO. We're above that 28 level. We're going to start maybe getting quarterly closes above 28. We're going to get maybe a monthly close above 28. Yeah, we're practically guaranteed to get it now, unless a disaster happens today. So it's very bullish on the long term, but it's going to get even more bullish once you're above this key resistance line. It's just so critical. So there's no need to FOMO, guys, at all, because the true bull era still hasn't even gotten enacted yet. And it's something me and Kevin we try to, what's the word there? Conciliate in our heads. Like, how come gold's at all-time highs, but it still hasn't broken out versus PX? What's happening here? Because it's slightly different now than what happened in the 2000s or in the 70s, right? So the precious metals are showing strength, but that's just the beginning. Once the markets really roll over and they have to print money to save the US equities, that's when silver and gold really, really do well.
Silver is absolutely critical. It is the fundamental element that directly and indirectly shapes the very essence of future sustainable technologies. Silver's future is likely to hinge more on industrial demand than in years past. If the robust growth in solar panel production and electric vehicle production stagnates, then maybe we'll see a softening in the silver price. But consider this: silver used in photovoltaics, vehicles, any kind of technology is locked up for years until those items are recycled, if at all, which keeps that supply off the market. And it provides a great support for the price. So if you want to take advantage of the silver price right now and take advantage of the demand for silver right now, then why not check out one of these videos to help you get started?